Okay, I hope my screen is visible to everyone. I have a small instruction for you. So this one, please look at this assignment. It is a cone, it is a solid, so it is our last assignment. So while doing this, please remember one thing, the dimension should be proper. Okay, so you should do your dimension proper. So and the diagram or mistake or path, so the total different. So I will show you the mistake. So the diagram is right, and compared with our diagram, it is right. Okay, but the dimensions are totally wrong. So please look at this. So it is a cone. So while doing dimension for a diameter, so you should not mention your dimension like this. So please have a vertical line. Please do a vertical line from the left extreme point. Okay, and you should create another one vertical line from the right extreme point. So you have to connect these two vertical lines with the dimension line. Then you can create your arrow mark and you can do your dimension like this. So if you are doing dimension like this, it is totally wrong. So please don't repeat this. And most of you are doing the same mistake. And this one is also totally wrong. So if you are creating a dimension like this, then the length of this line is 50 mm. So it is not right. Our condition is axis height is 50 mm. Okay, so you have to create a horizontal line from the base and you have to create a horizontal line from the apex point, that is called O. So you can connect these two horizontal lines with the dimension line like this. So it is a vertical line. Then you can create your arrow mark. Then you can do your dimension. So இதுல ரெண்டு mistake என்னன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, if you are measuring the length of this particular incline line, it will be more than 50. So it is not 50. Only the axis height is 50. Okay, so please don't repeat this. அதுக்காக தான் நான் ஒரு assignment எடுத்து நான் உங்களுக்கு காமிக்கிறேன். So it is not a major mistake. Diagram is totally right. So I will award 18 marks for this diagram. If it is a 20 mark question, I will award 18 marks because everything here, it is a perfect ellipse. So and also with it, the dimensions for this diagram is totally right. Correcta draw பண்ணிட்டு dimension தப்பா mark பண்ணிருக்காங்க. So due to that, I will reduce 2 mark. So இது வந்து நான் மட்டும் இல்ல, ஈவன் எந்த ஒரு ஃபேக்கல்ட்டியா இருந்தாலும் இப்படி தான் அந்த வேல்யூஷன் பண்ணுவாங்க. Okay, so please don't do these kind of dimensions. Okay, so this is also not right. This one is right. Okay, and here it is not right. So we should not do dimension like this. Instead of that, இது பரவாயில்லப்பா, இது கூட ஓகே தான். So no problem. So the length of this line is 30 mm and the height of this axis is 65. It is right. Okay, so these two dimensions are right. Only the condition is the diameter should be marked like a vertical line. Okay. So it is for your information. So diagram correctா draw பண்ணியும் நீங்க நிறைய பேர் மார்க் ரெடியூஸ் பண்ணிக்கிறீங்க. அதுக்காக தான் நான் உங்களுக்கு ஒரு சாம்பிள் காமிச்சிருக்கேன். So next I will move on to my regular class. I will try to complete 7 problems in our today's class because we are having 2 hours. Okay, so this one is a cone. Draw the top and front view of a cone. So from the question itself, we directly understand that it is a cone. Okay, of base diameter 46 mm and height is 65 mm, lying with one of its generator on HP. So here we are not having the angle. Okay, so instead of that, you can read this green color highlighted letter. one of its generator on HP. So this is our condition. So you can create your cone like our previous problem. Okay, so the front view will look like a triangle and the top view will look like a circle, because one of its generator on HP. So if it is on VP, you can create your front view and top view like our previous problem. So this is what the condition. Okay, so this horizontal line is our horizontal plane. I already told you that these two inclined lines will be called as generator. So our condition is one of its generator on HP. So you have to touch any one inclined line towards the HP line. Okay, so you can create your base circle in the top view position. Then only we can able to touch the inclined line in the HP. Okay. So this is our different problem. This is actually cylinder. So it is not our problem. So we are going to deal with only cone. So you can create a horizontal line. You can create a horizontal line. Then you can create a circle with a diameter of 46 mm. Okay, so you have to do a dimension like this. So in the diagram, so you can create a vertical line from the two extreme points. Then you can connect with your two vertical lines with a dimension line. So this will be a projection line. So you can create two projection line and one dimension line. Then you can create your arrowhead. Then you can do a dimension. So the dimension should be diameter 46. So you should mention the symbol of diameter. Okay, so you should not directly write 46. So it is diameter 46. Okay, then you can divide your circle into 8 equal parts with the help of 45-degree inclined line. Then you can do your notations. So please try to give 8 notations. Like here it is 1, and this one is 2, and this one is 3, and this one is 4, then 5, 6, 7, 8. If you are doing that, it will be easy for creating the final diagram. That is called our fourth diagram. Because if you are creating your fourth diagram, you should connect a horizontal line and a vertical line, right? So it will be easy for that kind of diagram. So in starting in the 8 dimensions necessary illa appdin feel pannina, if you are creating your fourth diagram, then it will be difficult for finding out the two exact points. Okay, so you can mention your apex point. So this is what our apex point. So this can be called as O. Okay, so you can project all your points towards your front view position. Then you can create your base. So this one is our base. Then you can create your axis with a height of 65 mm. So look at this dimension. So it is a vertical line. So it is not a parallel line towards generator. If you are creating a parallel line towards generator, then it will be wrong. Okay, then you can connect these two points with the inclined line. This one will be called as generator. So what is our condition? So we have to create our third diagram with this condition. One of its generator on HP. So any one line, whether this line or else this line, whether O dash 1 dash or else O dash 3 dash should touches the XY line. Okay, so this is our condition. So அப்படியே என்ன பண்ணணும், the diagram totally rotate பண்ணணும். Okay, so initially you can measure the distance of O dash and 3 dash with your compass, or else we can use your scale. Then you can create this horizontal line. So this length of this line is equal to O dash and 3 dash. Okay, so next you can create your next opposite corner called 1 dash. So for that, please use your compass. Okay, so For that, you can place your needle of your compass exactly at O dash. Then measure the distance of O dash and 1 dash. Okay, so please use your compass for this. So it will be easy. Place your compass exactly at O dash. You can measure the distance of O dash and 1 dash. Then again, with the same dimension, place your needle of your compass exactly at O1 dash at here. Okay, then create an arc like this. So create an arc at this place. Clear. So next, you can place your compass exactly at 3 dash. Then measure the distance of 3 dash and 1 dash. So it will be equal to 46 mm. Okay, so you can measure this distance. Then you can place your needle of your compass exactly at 3 dash. Sorry, 3 1 dash. Then you can create another one more arc at this place. So here you'll be having two arcs. There will be an intersection of two arcs. So you can mark that point as 1 1 dash. So like this. So you'll be having two arc. Then you can connect these point with the rest two lines. Okay, and also this one is our base. Okay, so this base contains actually 8 points. So you can measure the distance of these 8 points. Then you can mark the distance exactly at these places. Then please remember one thing, you have to create your axis. So for 3D diagram, you have to create axis, whether it is a prism or else it is a pyramid. You should create your axis. Okay, so far now, any doubts? Now, do we have any doubts? Okay, Gana. So next, now we have satisfied this condition. One of its generator on HP. So O dash and 3 dash is a generator. So this generator is on HP right now. So we have satisfied the problem condition. Okay. So next you can project the points from the base and you can project the point from the apex point. So you'll be having a vertical line and also you have to create the horizontal line from our previous problem. Okay. So so now you will be having 8 points. Here also you'll be having 8 points. Okay. So each point will have a horizontal line and each point will have a vertical line. So here it is a vertical line of 3 1 dash and here it is a horizontal line of 3 1 dash. Sorry, 3. So the intersection can be marked as 3 1. Similar to that, you can create a vertical line from 2 and 4 and also you can create a horizontal line from 2 and 4. So this intersection can be marked as 2 1 and 4 1. Okay, similar to that, you can create your 8 points and you can connect your 8 points with a dark line, because if you are looking from the top view position, the base is fully visible. So there is no hidden lines in the base. So you can connect your base with a dark line. So it should be a perfect ellipse. So the condition for perfect ellipse is that you should not have your sharp corners. And also you can create your apex point in this horizontal line, because for O itself it is having a 2 lines. So for O we are having horizontal line and we are having a vertical line. So this is our apex point. So you can connect this apex point with 4 and 2. Okay, so this is our fourth diagram. Is it clear? Any doubts? Do you have any doubts? Okay, I will try to conduct a tutorial based on this projection of solids in our next week. Okay, so this is a first class or problem for today's class. Okay, so next condition, Next one is a cylinder problem. Draw the projection of cylinder, base 30 mm diameter and axis 40 mm long, resting with a point of its base circle on HP such that the axis making an angle of 30° to HP and parallel to VP. So from the inclined condition itself, we can able to understand that it is 30° to HP. So you have to create your circular base in the top view position. And also you can read the red color highlighted word, resting with a point of its base circle on HP. So any one point from your base circle should touches the HP. So you should follow this condition for your third diagram. So our third diagram is actually second front view. Okay, so you can create a diagram. So that means you can create your circular base in the top view position. Okay. So this is what our cylinder. So for a cylinder, we'll be having two circular shapes. One is at the top surface and another one is the bottom surface. The condition is that resting with a point of its base circle on HP. So base circle is on HP. So you'll be having a top view as a circle. So this diameter should be 30 mm. So you should mark your diameter like this. Then your axis height is 40 mm. So normally if you're looking your axis line in top view, it will look like a point. So you can create your center point and you can divide your circle with 8 equal quadrants. Then you can project your 8 points towards front view position. So here you should mark each and every point with 2 numbers. Okay, sorry, 2, actually one will be a number and another one will be a letter. So in this video, it is marked as 1 of A. Please don't do this because our condition is that top surfaces should be marked with letters and the bottom surfaces should be marked with numbers. So the bottom surface will not be visible. So please reverse this notation. Okay, so please reverse this notation. So it is actually A of 1. So in this video, it is totally different. Please don't follow the notation exactly showing on this video. Please don't follow this notation. So please do your notations as like our previous condition. So it is A of 1 and this one is B of 2 and this one is C of 3 and this one is D of 4. Okay, then you can create your axis with a height of 40 mm. So here the axis height is 40 mm. Then you can create your 2 extreme vertical lines. Then you can connect these 2 lines with the horizontal line. So these particular corners will not have a dark lines. So it is a division line. So you can create these lines with your 2H pencil because this is not a component line. So for a cylinder, we'll be having only the 2 extreme vertical lines. So the remaining lines can be marked with 2H pencil. Okay. So next condition is that we should follow this condition resting with a point of its base circle on HP. So any one point, whether this point or else this point, should touches the reference line. And also with that, please read out this condition such that the axis making an angle of 30° to HP. So this axis line should make an angle of 30 degree. So you can create this axis with an angle of 30 degree like this. And also with that, this particular point, if you're creating a inclined line like this, you should touches this vertical, this corner exactly on the reference line. Or else if you're creating your axis line like this, so this position, then this particular corner should touches the HP. Okay, so please create. Now I have created a inclined line in this position. That means this C dash should touches the reference line. Okay. ஸோ இது எப்படி பண்ணலாம்? இந்த மாதிரி பண்ணும்போது எப்படி பண்ணலாம்? So you can measure the distance of the center point, and you can measure the distance between the center point towards this corner. Okay, so this is normally it will be half of your diameter, that means 15 mm. Then you can choose your scale. So the scale should be perpendicular to this line. So the scale should be aligned perpendicular to this line. So உங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் டிராஃப்டர்ஸ் கொடுத்துட்டாங்களா காலேஜில் இருந்து? யாராவது ரிப்ளை பண்ணுங்க. கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. ஓகே. So in your drafter you can see that there is a scale with a shape of L. So you'll be having a L shape scale. Okay. So if you are using that scale, one scale should be aligned exactly on this line, and அப்படி பண்ணும்போது என்ன ஆகும்னு வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா opposite scale will be in the position of 90 degree. Okay, so please use your drafter scale for creating this third diagram. If you're doing that, please align any one scale on this inclined line, then the opposite scale will be with an angle of 90 degree. Okay, so please move your scale exactly at this position. At any point, you'll be having a 15 mm distance between these two surfaces. Okay, then you can create your vertical inclined line with your opposite scale with a dimension of 15 mm 15, because the diameter is 30, so the off value of your 30 is 15. So you should create your inclined line with a dimension of 15, and also that particular inclined line should be 90 degree towards this line. இந்த லைனை கம்பேர் பண்ணும்போது நீ கிரியேட் பண்ணக்கூடிய இன்னொரு இன்க்ளைன் லைன் 90 டிகிரி ஆங்கிள் இருக்கணும். ஓகே, so while if you're following the condition, you can create your base. So please look at your base like this. So it is actually 90 degree towards this axis line. Okay, already this axis line is having an angle of 30 degree. So if we are measuring this particular angle, it will look like 60 degree. Okay, so you can create your base. Then you can mark all the necessary points in the base. Then you can project your base towards the top surfaces. That means you should have a 90 degree angle when compared with base, or else you can create a parallel line towards this axis line. Then you can connect your top surfaces. So please remember one thing, there is a problem in this notation. So நீங்க காமனா ஃபாலோ பண்ணிக்கங்க. Okay, காமனா ஃபாலோ பண்ணிக்கங்க. Base should be marked with 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and the top surface should be marked with A B C D E F G H. Okay, so in this video it is totally opposite. Okay, Then you can project your bottom surface towards the top view position. We have already created a horizontal line from our previous top view. Okay, so you'll be having 8 points in the base, and also you'll be having 8 points in the top surface. So if you're looking from your top view, you can see your top surface fully and the bottom surface is not fully visible. That means you can create off ellipse with a dark line, and the remaining off should be marked with a dotted line. Okay. And also you can connect the point D1 and 4,1 with the dark line, and B1 and 2,1 with the dark line, because it is a two extreme lines. Okay. So after doing the projection of 8 points, you can create two ellipses. So the top surface ellipse is should be highlighted, and the bottom surface only the offs diagram should be highlighted, and the remaining off is with the dotted line. So dotted line highlight பண்ணணும்ப்பா. So it is not a continuous line. Okay. So the bottom off is having off ellipse with dark lines, and the remaining off with the dotted. Okay. So this is our final diagram. Is it clear? Any doubts? கண்ணா, நான் ரொம்ப ஸ்பீடா போற மாதிரி இருந்துச்சுன்னா கொஞ்சம் சொல்லுங்க. நான் வேணா ஸ்லோவா ஒவ்வொரு லைனை டீச் பண்றேன். பிகாஸ் நம்ம ஆல்ரெடி பார்த்த டயக்ராம்ஸ் அப்படிங்கிறதுனால கொஞ்சம் ஸ்பீடா போயிட்டு இருக்கு. எனக்கே தெரியுது நான் ஸ்பீடா போறேன்னு, இருந்தாலும் ஆல்ரெடி டீச் பண்ணிட்டேன் அப்படிங்கிறதுனால தான் அப்படி பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கு. ஓகே, இதுக்கு முன்னாடி வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு ப்ராப்ளமா ஒரு ஹவர்ல டீச் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தேன். ஸோ we are following the same conditions, and also we are following the same procedure. So due to that, I'm completing 3 problems in an hour. Okay, so cylinder and cone is already taught in our previous classes, and next one is a hexagonal pyramid. So our next problem is a hexagonal pyramid. Okay, so you should be more cautious while creating a pyramid, because the bottom surface, that means your top view or else your front view, should be joined with your apex point. So this is what hexagonal pyramid. So you'll be having a hexagonal shape in the bottom, and you'll be having a apex point of O. So you should connect all your base corners towards this apex point. Okay, so if you can able to see these points, then you can connect these points with a dark line, and the invisible edges and the invisible slant edges should be marked with dotted lines. So these inclined lines can be called as slant edges. So in our prisms, we'll be calling that edges as longer edges. So in prism, we are using longer edges and rectangular faces. In pyramid, these lines should be called with a name of slant edge. And this surface, so please look at the surface. So I'm going to consider O, B, and C. So this OBC is a triangular face. So in pyramids, normally we will be having triangular faces. Okay, so in pyramid, normally you'll be having triangular faces. So if it is a hexagonal pyramid, so we can say that we are having 6 triangular faces. Similar to our prism. So in hexagonal prism, you'll be having 6 rectangular faces. In hexagonal pyramid, you'll be having 6 triangular faces. Okay, so this point can be called as apex point, so it can be marked as O. Okay, so next we are moving to our condition, that means our problem. So it is a hexagonal pyramid, side of base 25 mm and axis 50 mm long, rest with one of its edges on HP. Okay, so one of its edges on HP, so it should be a uh, edge hexagon. Okay, and its axis is inclined at an angle of 30° to HP. So the axis is 30° inclined towards HP. Okay, so your top view will look like a hexagon. So you should create your hexagon like this. Okay, so this is what our hexagon for this problem, and this hexagon should be on top view because rest with one of its edges on HP. So on HP, and also we are having an inclined angle with HP. Okay, so you should create your hexagonal shape in the top view position. So this is what our hexagonal pyramid. Okay, so this line will be called as slant edges. So these lines. Okay, so the colored lines can be called as hexagonal, slant edges. And this particular surface, so this line surface can be called as triangular faces. Okay, so next we are moving to our problem. So you can create your horizontal line, and this one is a edge hexagon. So here it is clearly mentioned, rest with one of its edges on HP. Since it is a hexagonal pyramid, you should connect your center point with all the corners. So please remember that, and these lines should be connected with a dark line. So it is a component line. Please remember that it is a component line. So you should connect F and C with a dark line, and B and E with a dark line, and D and A with a dark line. So these three lines will be intersecting at one point. So that is our center point. Okay. If it is a hexagonal prism, you don't have to connect these two opposite corners because it is a prism. Prism ke center la dark lines varadu. If it is a pyramid, compulsory, it should be a dark line. Okay, so it is a highlighted lines. So this particular point intersection can be called as O because it is our apex point. Next, you can project your 7 points towards your front view position. That means A, B, C, D, E, F, and also you should project O point also. Okay, so you'll be having 3 projection lines towards front view. And you can do your dimension. So the base side is 25 mm. Okay, then this is our axis line. So normally you'll be doing axis line with a longer thin line and a shorter thin line with an equal gap. But here it is showing with a dark line. So I will show you the condition. Next, this is our apex point. So it can be marked as O dash. Next, you can connect this apex point with this corner, and you can connect this apex point with this corner. Okay. So we'll be having 6 slant edges. Okay. So please remember one thing. If you're looking from this direction, okay, if you're looking from this direction, you can able to see this corner. So this is the name of this corner is B, and also you can able to see this corner. So it is C, and also you can able to see this corner. It is D. So the remaining 3 corners is not visible. So you can mark these 3 corners within bracket, and please look at your slant edges. So this OC is visible, and OB is visible, and OD is visible. So this is a slant edge. This one is a slant edge. Okay, so that slant edge can be called as O and C. அதனால தான் ஆக்சிஸ் வர இடத்துல டார்க் லைன் மார்க் பண்ணிருக்காங்க. பென்டகனுக்கு இப்படி வராது. Pentagon is totally different, but hexagon will have this kind of conditions. So இந்த ஹெக்ஸகன்லயே வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா நீங்க கார்னர் ஹெக்ஸகன் கிரியேட் பண்ணீங்கன்னா இந்த மாதிரி வராதுப்பா. If you're creating edge hexagon, your axis line will not be visible because one slant edge will be in the same position of the axis line. Okay, so this is what our front view. So you can able to see 3 slant edges. Okay, so what is our next condition? So axis is inclined at an angle of 30 degree to HP. Okay, so this vertical line can be called as axis line because the axis line is here. So you can create this vertical line with an angle of 30 degree. Okay, and also with that we have noticed that rest with one of its edges on HP. So any one edge should touches the HP. So this is one edge and this one is also another edge. So whether we can touch your reference line with this corner or else you can touch your reference line with this corner. So both corners can be called as edges. So you can create your third diagram with this inclination or else you can create your third diagram with this inclination. So both are right. Okay. So please create a inclined line with an angle of 30 degree. So you can mark your C dash of F dash exactly at this point. And also please remember one thing, similar to our previous condition, you can measure the distance of this off surface and that particular same distance should be available at this place. That means this particular corner should touches the reference line. Then you can connect this corner and this corner with your apex point. So you can measure the exact dimension of your previous front view. Okay. So any doubts? Another doubts from the கேளுங்கப்பா. Okay. So after doing that, after creating this diagram, we'll be having 6 corners on the base surface and 1 corner on the top point, apex point. So you can project all these 7 points towards top view position, and also we'll be having another 7 point in your previous top view. So you can project these 7 corners towards our second top view position. So we'll be having an intersection. Okay, so that particular intersection can be highlighted with A1, B1, C1, D1, E1, F1. Okay, so after connecting that, please remember one thing. If you are looking from your top view position, this one is our base. So this base is not fully visible. So only the off surface is visible and the remaining off is not visible. That means you have to look at your previous diagram. So roll number 27. Roll number 27.
Yes, sir.
Kana, what is your name?
Sir, Gokul Shankar.
Gokul Shankar. Okay, Kana. நான் சொன்னது புரிஞ்சதில்ல. பேஸ்ல only half surface is visible and remaining half is not visible. So we have to create a dot line and a dotted line. So எதெல்லாம் dot line வரும், எதெல்லாம் dotted line வரும்?
Sir.
So please look at from this direction. That means you can look at your previous top view from left to right. ஸோ என்னோட ஏரோ மார்க் ஹைலைட் ஆகுது, புரியுதா? ஸோ லெஃப்ட் டு ரைட் பார்க்கும்போது இந்த பேஸோட 6 எஜஸ் இருக்குல்ல, இதுல எந்தெந்த எஜஸ் எல்லாம் உனக்கு தெரியும்?
சார் ஏபி, ஏஎஃப், பிசி.
Okay, so you can connect these 4 points with the dot line. So FA is a dark line and AB is a dark line and BC is a dark line. அப்ப எதெல்லாம் தெரியாது?
சார் சிடி, டிஇ, இஎஃப்.
Okay, so you can connect C and D with the dotted line and D and E with the dotted line and E and F with the dotted line. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can switch off your mic. Next, roll number 33. Roll number 33.
Yes, sir.
Agana, what is your name? என்ன பேர் என்னப்பா? பேரே தெரியலையா?
சார்
உன் பேர் என்னன்னு கேட்டேன்ப்பா, வேற எதுவும் கேட்கல.
ஹரிஷ்.
Harish, okay. Harish, in our hexagonal pyramid, we'll be having 6 slant edges. Okay, so you have to connect these 6 corners towards your apex. So apex means O1. அப்போ இதில் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா கம்பல்சரி will be having dark lines and also you'll be having dotted lines. So எதெல்லாம் டார்க்காக தெரியும், எதெல்லாம் dotted line தெரியும்? ஸோ இதுக்கும் நீ என்னோட ப்ரீவியஸ் டயக்ராமை தான் பார்க்கணும். Please look at your previous diagram. So FO is a slant edge and AO is a slant edge and BO is a slant edge and CO is a slant edge and DO is a slant edge and EO is a slant edge. So you have to look at your previous diagram from left to right. So இப்படி பார்க்கும்போது உனக்கு எந்தெந்த slant edge தெரியும், எதெல்லாம் தெரியாது. So FO தெரியுமா?
A101.
என்னம்மா? ஏன்னா கொஞ்சம் பேசுனீங்கன்னா நல்லா இருக்கும்.
A101.
A20, A2 இது actually it is not 0, it is O. Okay, so A2O தெரியுமா?
Yes, sir.
B2O, C2O,
No, sir.
C2O தெரியும்பா. ஓகே, C2O வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா C வந்து எக்ஸ்ட்ரீம் கார்னர் அண்ட் F இஸ் எக்ஸ்ட்ரீம் கார்னர். ஸோ C2O தெரியும், F2O தெரியும். ஸோ யூ கேன் கிரியேட் தீஸ் 4 slant edges with dark line. And D2O வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா உனக்கு தெரியாது because it is backside of BO. BOக்கு பேக் சைடில் இருக்கும். And EO is also not visible. It is exactly at the back side of AO. So these 2 slant edges should be marked with the dotted line. That means D2O and E2O. Okay, you can check your previous 3D component. So this one is our 3D component. Okay, so please consider this point as A and this point as B and this one as C and this one as D and this one as E and this one as F. If you are looking from left to right, AO is visible, BO is visible and CO is also visible because there is no component in our previous surfaces. So BO வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா inclined. The surface is inclined surface. So CO is also visible and FO is also visible. So only these 2 slant edges is not visible. So this one and this one. Okay, புரிஞ்சுதா?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you can create your diagram with dark line. So AB, BC, and you can connect. Normally, you can connect your extreme edges with the dark line. And after that, please connect this CD with the dotted line and DE with the dotted line and EF with the dotted line because it is our base surfaces. So in our base, we can't able to see these three edges. And in slant edges, we can't able to see T2O and E2O. Okay, so you can connect these edges with a dotted line. Okay, so we are having three dotted line bases, and from E to O you can create a dotted line, and D to O you can create a dotted line. But you have to connect A to O with a dot line and B to O with a dot line because it is visible. Okay, so like this. So you can able to see four slant edges. Only the two slant edges from E to O and D to O is not visible. Okay, so this is our final diagram. Okay, so this one is a hexagonal pyramid. Similar to this, you will be having a pentagonal pyramid. Okay, for a pentagonal pyramid, you will be having 5 slant edges and 5 triangular faces. But the conditions, the remaining conditions are same. Okay, any doubts? Okay, Kana. Please join this class sharply at 11:15, so you can have your half an hour break. Correct, 11:15 join.